Excellent timing. And we're live. Welcome to another episode of Foreign and Domestic. This should be a good one. But before we get to that, we're going to jump to Alan. And in true fashion, Alan, if you would, sir.
Yes, absolutely, Scotsman. Want to thank everybody for popping in the panel tonight. Thank everybody for jumping in the side chat. But before I read out that side chat, if I could just do this one thing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. The participants list at the moment, starting off with the great ambiguity, Bearded CB82, BEM, Freedom, Bigger Behind the Trigger, excellent to see you. Budget Gun Cinema, Ferrets with Guns, nice. JH586 here in the room, Kingpin, the Battle Bean himself, Mario Mosen out there, Michael Signs, Primal Wanderer, Scott F, one of the greatest people out on YouTube, Simpson, RD Larry, Simpson Road Larry, SKS, Hugo. There's more than likely more, but that's just the participations list. Phil M. Rivers out there in the side chat, Chris 338. Looks like the side chat is starting to fill up.
Awesome. Good deal. We're blessed to have a couple of really good people with us today. We'll start with Pop's quest, the man, the myth, the legend, being good at it.
I thought you had to be dead to be a legend.
You're a living legend.
I'm alive and well, and I thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed probably my favorite videos of the week was watching you guys get out there and take that clinic. And, listening to Daniel and listen to your Fluster video, it's really, it brings back memories for me. And so that's why I'm here. And hopefully if you want to talk about that, I can chime in. So thanks.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we will. We'll get to that. Jamie, good to have you, brother.
Thanks for the link, brother. Thanks for having me. Pops, Daniel, Alan, enjoy being with you guys, and welcome to all the guys in the side chat. Thanks for jumping in with us today. Y'all had a good week?
For the most part.
Yeah, I had a good week. Thank you.
Good. Maybe this coming week will be even better.
Yeah, should be. Daniel?
Hey, thanks for the link, guys. And, I would rather have bad ammo than the problems I had. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And panel guys, good seeing you and everybody in side chat. Let's have some fun.
Awesome. Good deal. So we're going to start with you, Daniel. Since you invited me to the clinic, kind of brought me up to speed on what was going on. You want to talk a little bit about what it was and all that? Got to unmute yourself.
All right, there. Yeah, I was. I had the pop out chat and it kept covering everything. So I had to turn it off. Okay, well, last year I found out about this gun club here in the same county that I'm at, and that they have IDPA shoots. Well, unfortunately, I found out about the IDPA shoots on the last shoot of the last day of the last shoot of the year. So I looked it up here on Practice Score because I heard they were going to have a clinic. So my wife and I were going to go, but my wife had to go to a conference. So I kind of put the bug in your ear, and we went on a Practice Score. They had this clinic. It was a 6-hour clinic from 9 to 4. It was 2 hours of class time where they went over, some of the basic rules and what it's about. And then we went out to the range where it started on a little easy course. because they wanted to find out if you could actually shoot a gun, to all the scenarios where they put the real life scenarios and how they do it out there. And I just learned I'm going to have a lot of procedurals until I start learning the proper form and proper way to take cover. I mean, shooting is only 1/3 of that game.
Yeah, absolutely, big time. They did a great job of explaining the whole thing from start to finish, going through and keeping it informative yet fun at the same time. Because people can just bore you to death sitting there talking, but these guys kept it fun and entertaining, so that was good. When we got to the range, just kind of like you said, they wanted to make sure you could shoot first, and that's when my problem started right off the bat. It wasn't because I can't shoot. It's literally, it was round number 3 through my 75B, I stovepiped. I've never had a problem with this gun ever, and stovepipe.
Yeah, I
keep going right back into fight, no problem, but just ridiculous. And that's how my day went. That's how it started, and that's how it went the rest of the day.
I just want to comment on that pistol. I have made a comment before, and I'll say this again. I think that is probably the finest pistol for, now everyone will disagree with me except you, for IDPA is that 75B. I just think mine has the Omega trigger, and Dirt Road has that gun right now, because I said, dude, you're shooting IDPA, take this gun, take it, use it. And I don't think he's shooting IDPA right now, but I believe that is the finest gun. Now, most guys will shoot Glocks because you don't have to start with the hammer down and all that. But I think it's great. I would stick with that gun. I know you're not going to go out tomorrow and buy a Glock. That's the good news.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna continue using this one for IDPA. Obviously, I got the Shadow 2 for USPSA, but this guy will stay with that. It came down to the ammo more as what I kind of discovered. We looked at some of the ammunition later on, and a lot of the crimps were not quite right. And that, I believe, that was the biggest issue I was having, was with the ammunition itself not being completely crimped properly the way it should have been. And there was a couple other factors in there as well. I was having primer issues with some of the primers. Just a bad day. I mean, when it comes to that, the shoot itself and what we learned was good. And I made that comment to you back in the video too. It wasn't that it was a bad day. It was just a shitty day of malfunctions.
Well, and I haven't been able to catch up on the video itself, but you've boiled it down and figured out the majority of the malfunctions were due to the ammo. Was it factory ammo?
It was factory ammo, yeah, and that's generally why I tend to reload more than anything. The reason I didn't take reloads is because I didn't have time. I got some bullets from Jamie and some other people that were nice enough to send those to me, and thank you again for that. But I don't take ammunition, especially to a shoot, that I have not tested before I shoot it. So.
Wait.
Factory ammo.
Wait a minute. You did take ammo to the shoot you didn't test.
I did, but it was factory, so you'd expect it to run.
Right. Okay. And that's my point. That's the only reason I busted your balls there, is that's my point. People sometimes think that reloads are inferior, and Jamie can speak to this. Reloads are match grade ammo because you look in every case, you make sure every primer's right, you make sure it's crimp right. The guys that roll this shit off the factory line don't care what your day is like. They have no investment in you whatsoever. So I think.
Sorry about that.
I think that reloading is absolutely necessary for competition, because that's where you're going to shoot the highest quality ammo.
Yep, absolutely agree. Yep.
I agree. And you take your stuff, and the fact that you could see something wrong with the crimp, period. You're talking about 9mm, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that should be a taper crimp, man. You shouldn't be able to see any crimp at all.
Yeah, that was the problem. I mean, I was looking at it and compared a couple of different rounds, and Just like I showed Daniel, and he just looked at it like, damn, that's it.
Well, did you, by any chance, if you have that left, did you shove any of them into a chamber checker?
I've not. No, I got them sitting somewhere over there, but I did not check them. No.
That would be interesting. And the next time you go to the Walmart and get you competition match grade ammo that costs 9 cents a round, you could always shove them into a chamber checker before you go to the match, right? So that's one thing you could do to help alleviate some of that. But
Yeah, you could take some to the range and test it, and then stay in that lot number. That would help some, but there's still no guarantee. Something you can relate to, though, Scotsman, that might have come off the assembly line during the third shift.
It might have. And then, this brings up another point. Pops, you've talked about this before as well. Match primers versus regular primers, match grade primers stuff. It's just because that particular line does it better.
Absolutely. And let me point to another thing, and this is what I believe. If you guys follow Coda Boy 32 and the primary arm scope thing, he talks about the scopes coming out of the same place. Now, here's what I believe. I believe that your name brand scopes, I believe they run, different shifts or different groups of people that make these scopes. And I think the most seasoned people in those factories get those scopes labeled to Night Force, Vortex, all that. And then the guys that might be new or maybe a shift that's not so quality ready, then it's the same thing, but it's like match grade versus, standard grade or what have you. I think there's a way to pull enough coal, what we call in the cabinet industry, coal boards, things that don't really match up, cull those out and sell them under a certain brand. And then the good stuff gets branded a certain way. I'm not saying I know that. I'm just saying that I think that happens more than you think. Hell, there may be the same assembly line runs the same ammo, but when they make personal defense ammo, it's with their A team. And then when they make the white trash box ammo, it might be with their B or C team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this could happen more than we know,
Yeah, I would be actually very curious on what the percentage rates of quality checks are on certain factory ammos. Are they checking every 100th round? Are they checking every 500th round? And those machines are humping. They're just pumping rounds out. And I'd really be kind of curious as to what the quality checks are, even with major name brand factory ammo.
Well, I can guarantee you this: they don't check every round.
That's a fact. Have y'all ever seen any films of them making ammunition at a plant? It's basically an inline progressive press. Everything's motorized, and it's sending the cases down just like that, and boom, 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 boom. And one round gets made in about 2 seconds, and then it's gone.
Yeah, those things are flying. I mean, the ammo's just heading down the assembly line.
It is.
Yeah, I knew someone that worked in one of those factories before, and they said it's about 1 in every 5,000 to 1 in every 10,000 that they check. It's a pretty high number.
Yeah, they do have some repetition there that helps them create ammo at speed. Like you and I might set a primer in 1 stroke. They set a primer in 3 strokes. So the bottom line is, if it doesn't seat all the way in the first stroke, the second stroke, the third stroke, and then they have a stroke where it just tests the depth of the primer, and then dropping powder happens several times as well. And the reason they do that is because it has something to do with the fact that dropping small amounts of primer multiple times negates maybe a powder that doesn't drop at all. At least you're going to get some powder in there. And not to say that's a good way, but when you're trying to make them, a million rounds at a time, they use different processes that sort of check it along the way. And when they seat the bullet, they seat it several times. So you have sort of 20 steps where you have that's old. And that picture of that big line, it sort of seems to be what's happening,
Yep. And that's it. And Kenny makes the same point too out there, that we've been talking about, that we all, when we're hand loading, we're doing it ourselves, we're checking every round, paying attention to every round, unless you're KB 32 and take a shot and throw an extra powder charge.
Yeah, that's learning what not to do the hard way for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, I'd be really curious if you had to run out a question for you, Pops. If you just forgot your ammo box and you were at the match and had to run to the local Wally World to pick up anything to run the match with, what would you grab?
Federal ammo. And yeah, I mean, I shoot 40 caliber, 180 grain Federals are, unfortunately, they're smoky, but they're probably the best off the shelf ammo, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've gotten away from a lot of other brands. If I'm buying box stuff, I'm buying a lot of Federal these days. I haven't had any problems with Federal, but there's other ones that you're going to run into problems, or they're just really dirty, or they're just completely inaccurate.
I agree. And you have to decide, what are you going to do with this ammo? Am I hosing? Am I trying to get just shit on paper, or am I shooting for accuracy? I recently did a test with some personal defense ammo, Winchester personal defense ammo, which is loaded to a very high standard. And it's incredibly accurate, versus even my reloads, believe it or not. So, but you can't afford to shoot it. It's a fucking $1 a round. I mean, who's going to do that? So.
You can't take that to a match.
No.
And the only reason I picked up the white box, and I said in the video too, is that's all they had in 124 grain. And unfortunately, CZs love 124.
Well, I apologize for not twisting your arm hard enough, Scotsman. I had like 250 rounds I brought, and it was just sitting there, and I came home with 150 rounds.
I think the clinic was great. I had no idea such a thing even existed. To my knowledge, there's no USPSA clinic. I showed up to a legit match, and they put a fire hose in my mouth and said, "Open up." It was interesting. But I think everyone should at least go to a clinic. I mean, seemed like to be very laid back, tons of information, and they let you stress yourself out just enough to go, holy shit, this could be a lot of fun, and I think
they did a really good job. Like I said earlier, they did a really good job. They kept it fun, but informative and on point for the most part. There was only one thing that really kind of ticked me off a little bit. I can understand to a certain degree being an RO myself, but if the person knows how to clear their own malfunction, don't try to step in and try to help them clear it. If they know what they're doing, leave them alone.
Yeah.
If you see a problem, then step in.
Yeah, but you have to understand, you went to a clinic, not a match, and at a match they will never touch you, because the minute they touch you, you can claim RO interference and get a reshoot. At a clinic like that, their main goal is to keep you safe and try to help you enjoy the possibility of shooting a match one day. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, there was, a couple people that had very limited. There was around 38 shooters, And there was
Whoa.
there was about 2 or 3 people had very limited knowledge or shooting experience. Just they
Yeah.
had a little bit, just enough to be dangerous.
You mean match experience?
No, shooting gun. I mean, everybody there was pretty much everyone at the clinic had no
hadn't
match.
shot at all before. They were very limited in what they'd done. And I get your point, Pops, and that's kind of what I was saying. But if that person's experienced and they could see the experience, they should step back. And that was my only gripe.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'll never help you. I love watching you struggle. I think it's like that shit show match that I did about the trying to shove 300 blackout into a 223 rifle under pressure. I did all the remedial action and everything, and at the end of the day, I was just trying to shove the wrong round in the chamber. So, but at a match, those guys are just letting me go through it, just watching me suffer, let me go through it, let me experience it. But you learn from that and you move on.
Well, I did something when Pops, I think you were when you were on here last, you was talking about a website to check. What was something score?
Practice score. Yeah.
Practice score. Yeah. I went on there and I looked in my area for some pistol competitions, but we don't have very many that I could get involved in. But they did have a long range rifle match once a month. So I might get the 270 out and start loading up some 270 and see what I can do. Of course, it won't be that long of a range. I think that particular range only goes out to 600 yards. So
I know a lot. Yeah, a lot of guys are getting into long range, man. That looks like a lot of fun. Now, what you have to understand about practice score is that check the website every Tuesday, because most matches are on Saturday, and most of the time they'll only post matches that are available when they're open for registration. So if I'm searching for a match in your area and a match is available 2 weeks from now, you can search and it won't show up. But if you search every Tuesday, it'll be within that week window or Monday or what have you. But most registrations, sometimes I open it like noon on Monday or 5 o'clock on Monday. So that's why I tell people just search your local matches on Tuesdays, and you'll see everything that's going to be for that upcoming weekend. And then, and again, there's probably more stuff around you than you know, because a lot of people will get on there and search and they're like, oh, there's only 1 or 2 things, but you have to look every week to see when the open matches actually post. So.
There's Eagle Eye.
What up, fellas? Hey.
Yo.
Howdy.
What's up?
We sent you a link. We're talking about competitive shooting tonight, and I guess they wanted to rub some salt in an open wound, brother. Why don't you tell them what happened?
Okay. I was going to add to the local range I used to go to was an outdoor range over there in California. I actually used to sell hand-loaded ammunition. It was hand-loaded from the range officers or the owner of the range. The pack itself had a disclaimer notice, and basically it reads that, we take no part of damages to your gun, yourself, whatever, if you open this pack. Not once had he had a malfunction or incident with his hand loads, but on the range there has been over 10 or 15 counts in the last 2 years using factory ammunition.
Wow.
I don't doubt that. I mean, a guy that hand loads, he takes care of every round,
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a new shooter or somebody that's just learning, there is that liability factor of, for instance, it won't be the ammunition that causes a problem, but the fact that they accidentally shoot themselves or whatever, they could take that to court, and your hand-loaded ammunition could be at fault. So there's that factor about it.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. When I was at the range and was running the range and that, you could see I saw so many issues with factory ammunition, and I had 3 or 4 guys that come in all the time that were hind loaders only, and none of them ever had a single issue. But everyone that brings factory ammo always has issues, and there was lots of issues with Glocks, just so you know.
Now,
Well, I was just about to ask there, Scotsman, when you were running the gun range, do you think that a lot of Glocks were malfunctioning just due to the use of manufactured ammo, or just because they were just Glocks?
Just because they were Glocks. That's the only reason it is, man.
the man's hate for Glocks runs deep. I mean, I had him all fixed up with this beautiful girl there at this shoot, but then she pulled out a Glock. I mean, come on, she was a single. She was a doctor. I mean, she was the only child of a millionaires. All right, and he just ditched her right there.
Sorry, man. Glock done. Nope.
Well, I put a website link earlier down below. It's called Ammo Recall, and you'll be surprised how many recalls are happening on a daily on manufactured ammunition. Highly recommend people checking that out. You'll see exactly what we're talking about. And the recalls are scary. You're talking about headspace or headspace malfunction, guns blowing up, powder, the wrong powder being used. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, and recalls only happen after a disaster.
Exactly. Or somebody gets seriously hurt. So
Yeah.
Now, you guys know I've only been shooting a pistol for a couple of years, and I always went for the best bargain, and I've always bought Blazer brass, and that's what most of my reloads are. You know, the brass that I use is just Blazer. So, but now I reload. I mean, yes, I'm using that brass, but I'm now moved up to the 124 grain, so I keep my defensive ammo and my competition and practice the same velocities and weights and all that. But I mean, have anybody ever here run into any issues with Blazer?
Blazer and CCI is the same parent company.
Yep.
Who owns them? It's one of the big ones.
I'm not sure. If you look on the box, it just says CCI.
Maybe it's Odin or something like that. I've never even looked at my brass when I reload it. I just run it through. I mean, especially 9mm, even 40 cal on my competition stuff. I just use any brass that I pick up.
So Jesse B and Simpson Road Larry says federal. But yeah.
All right. I'm not sure how many we got out there. I can't see for whatever reason. For the longest time, I've had issues with seeing how many is out there. But I just threw a link. It's also down in the description below. But guys, Eltenda, one of our good brothers, put out a video earlier from Krebs Custom. One of the employees' wife had some issues, had to go in for open heart surgery, and they are doing a huge raffle to help raise some funds to recover from the cost of that. So there's all kinds of companies kicking in to help out, and they've donated. There's 4 different guns that I saw on the video and a whole bunch of different parts. So lots of opportunities there. And they're not asking for a whole lot. So if you guys can help out, that's all I'm saying. Just if you can, check that link. I would really, really appreciate it. I know Eltenda would too.
All right. There's some good information from Scott F. CCI, Blazer Brass, and Spear is all owned by ATK, same company that owns Federal Premium Ammunition. So obviously he looked it up. So who's going to argue with that? But Kenny, the thing I was referring to when you first came on was you had your first pistol competition scheduled for yesterday.
yeah, it's upsetting because I could have won a CZ Shadow 2. Basically, there's a raffle for the top 5, and there's only 15 contestants. The top 5 get a raffle to win a CZ Shadow, and I got flipping call to BFT to work.
Ah, man, that
Man.
sucks.
Yeah.
I would have said I'm sick.
I tried pulling that car, but I forgot my name. Or the work car has a GPS, so they knew exactly where I was. And
Man, that bites because we found out yesterday that the Shadow 2 can be used in IDPA now.
Yep.
You have to tighten it or no?
What?
You and be that because IDPA has this sort of tribal rules from club to club. You have to really be careful because the minute you go to the next level and shoot a major match, all of a sudden your gun doesn't fit the box or what have you, or it's too heavy. So really, 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 really research that at a higher level than the club level because from what I understand, it weighs too much.
Well, no, they showed it where it can weigh 43 ounces now. The gun can weigh 43 ounces.
If that's the case, and it's under that,
yeah, they said there was a lot of rule changes. And the other really cool thing that they include this year is the pistol caliber carbine class.
What?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, PCC is strong. So
that looks like a lot of fun.
Well, if you want people to ride your ass the whole match, bring a rifle to a pistol competition. Trust me.
Get Uncle Jim to try out his Foxtrot mic. That's a good little pistol carbine.
That's funny. One of the guys there was saying if you want to piss off your squad members, shooting more than one with your pistol and your PCC, and you'll piss off your squad members.
Yep, shoot 2 classes.
Well, and the reason that is because you're always busy getting ready. You're just done shooting. You're never help pasting or resetting. So the one of the biggest advices I give people when you go to a match is be a hard worker. Don't sit your ass there. There are people, and I've been doing this shit for 2 years. There are people I will not squad with because they sit down. They don't help. They don't reset. They don't do shit, and I hate it. You know, we're all none of us are getting paid to shoot, right? No, there's no big, whatever the case may be. Everyone has to work. Everyone has to help. We all do it together. It's an efficient squad. And then you have 2 or 3 people that seem to think that they're God's gift to shooting and they don't help. And I won't squad with those people. So don't be that person, you know?
Yeah, we saw some people walk away yesterday after they'd done shooting. They just take their stuff and walk away.
It happens.
Well, do they know they're supposed to help?
Oh yeah. He mentioned it a few times inside the classroom before we even hit the range and on the range.
I worry sometimes when I bring the cameras, people think, oh, he's spending time setting up cameras, this and that, and the other thing. But what I try to do is when there's work to be done, I haul ass and I go do work. When there's not work to be done, I come back and I clean mags, I set up cameras, I do my thing. When there's work to be done, I drop my shit and I go do work. You know, I don't let that get in the way of doing what I'm supposed to do to be part of the squad.
That goes back to etiquette.
Yeah.
Many hands make the load light.
Yeah.
And a little while back, Jet 001 said that his club or his range does not allow hand loads. So, and it may be easier said than done, but I'd find me another range, another club.
I'll just take them there in a Winchester box.
Exactly. Catch me, put it to me.
Yeah, that Watto, if you're loading like Barry's bullets like these, you know, the copper plated, no problem. But you open up a white Winchester box and you pull out some of my powder coated bullets like I sent the Scotsman. Yeah, that's gonna be.
Well, just powder coat them red and put them in a Syntex box. You know, Federal Syntex. You know,
Yeah.
that's.
I like red too.
There you go. You're done.
Jamie, red's the color of the devil.
Yeah, okay.
They only shoot well in Glocks.
I guess. I got this one particular mold. Y'all think I'm crazy. It's 101 grain, 1R, 356, 356, 101 grain bullet for 9mm or 380. I guess you could use it to be a heavy bullet in 380, but that 101 grain bullet in my CZ75 just, I mean, I just sit there and point it and shoot, man, and that puts them all in your fist at about 25, maybe 10 yards, 15 yards.
Would you shoot those at a steel challenge?
I don't know. I've never been to any kind of competitions. That's why I'm learning from y'all tonight.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Pops? I mean, it would ring, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but I think steel challenge, you have to make minor power factor. So you take the bullet weight times the velocity, I think, divided by either 100 or 1,000. Dylan's got a power factor calculator on their site. You can check. But if you have to make minor, you just got to make sure you got enough velocity behind that lightweight bullet. That's all.
Well, I'm probably running that one at 1,200, 1,250 feet without much trouble at all.
How much? 1,200?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. Let's see. The 1,200, and the bullet weight is how much? 90, 91?
101 grains.
101. Okay, let's calculate. Oh, see, that's going to come in at 121 power factor, and that's not quite there. Minor for USPSA is 125. Let's see if it says SAS. It doesn't say steel challenge, but steel challenge is I think the USPSA rules. So you'd have to bump up the velocity enough, and I'll tell you what the velocity needs to be. Let's change that to 1250. Let's see.
The minor's 125.
Yeah, 1250 would make it 126.25 power factor, which would make it legal. So
I just make it with my zinc bullet there, Jamie. 90 grain zinc bullet at 1403 FPS, 9mm.
That's a crazy load right there.
It's a crazy load, and it shoots very soft. It's a 126 power factor. It's a fragmenter too. We hit steel, so you can actually shoot steel really close range.
Nice. All right, yeah.
That zinc is hard too, Pops. It might not be heavy, but it's hard, man. It hits hard.
Hey, nothing beats a 180 grain bullet. I can just chip an edge of a steel and the bitch will fall down. You know what I mean? So.
I really like 40 caliber. That's of all the handgun calibers, except 357 Magnum, of course. But you can't shoot competitions with a big old revolver, I don't think.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's got its own class in IDPA.
Yeah, everything's got a revolver division. You just sign up and go. Just make sure you can load them pretty quick.
Yeah. That's me, man.
And you're only shooting against people in the types of guns you're shooting in your class.
Well, like Steel Challenge, you get an 8-shot revolver, you're good to go, because every stage on Steel Challenge, I think, is 8 shots or less.
I was really intrigued with the cowboy action shooting, but that's just too easy. They make it not very challenging at all. And the challenge for cowboy action shooting to me is buying all the stuff you need. You got to have 2 revolvers, the pistol caliber, lever action, and then a shotgun.
Of course.
Well, it's the original 3-gun. I mean, it's pretty cool, actually. But don't forget the flare. They require you to have 2 pieces of flare. So you have to have like a cowboy hat and a vest at the bare minimum. So
blue jeans, good boots.
Yeah, you can't show up there with a fucking Glock t-shirt on. That's not going to work.
Yeah,
that won't happen with me, brother. Trust me.
No, it's true, man. You got to have either the leather cuffs and a hat or something. You got to boots or you got to dress up for SAS shooting or whatever it is.
The Scotsman has some bling you can borrow from him for that there, Jamie. He's got some chaps, some other chaps.
I'm a biker. I do have leather chaps, but
There you go. So you have the horse too. So
A couple things to make myself feel better. So we got a couple pounds of trail boss.
Yeah, buddy.
So I'm gonna try that out because I found some of that, and this one you'll like as well, Jamie.
Oh
There you
yeah.
go.
47.
Yep.
Can't wait to have things built, man.
So made my feel so a little bit better after a shitty day.
Okay, let me get one thing straight now. You're not going to be loading those ELD 147 grain 6.5s with that trail boss, are you?
No.
Thank
Oh.
goodness.
well, I don't think there's a load for that in any manual on planet Earth. I'm pretty sure.
I hope not.
And when Jason and when the guys get some loaded up, we've got a spot where he can stretch it out to 600 to 800 yards.
That's where that cartridge shines. At 6.5, it's deadly accurate within those ranges.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing that build up here, hopefully soon.
All right, dead air. What the hell?
How's that going, by the way, Scotsman? Where are you at with that?
Just got to do the front end. The whole back end's pretty much done, so just the front end, barrel, and all that still got to get and all. So pretty much everything else is done on the back end of it.
I saw your post on Instagram for that your whole carrot group. That's a good choice.
Yep. So it's pretty much all I got left is barrel and all the parts for up front. So
What'd you get for bolt carrier group?
I got the double ejector from. I always forget the name when I need to know the damn name.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Hold on. I can grab it off the safe. Hang on one sec. I'll show you.
It was, how come I can't think of the name either? I just saw the post.
I just want to anybody that's in the chat that was on Rich's chat a couple weeks ago. I want to give a big fist in your face because when TAC brought her new 450 Bushmaster from Bear Creek out, and she was talking about the results, and I was looking at that same upper, and I told them nobody go in there. I went in to order mine the next morning, and they were out of stock. So, folks, a big thank you. I mean,
Well,
this.
That's the power of social media, brother. It's going to happen. So I went into Palmetto State Armory anytime I'm near the store, and we have two near where I'm at, I'll just go in there. And I'm like, look around just to make sure there's nothing I need. And the AKV, that new AK 9mm, I went in there and I'm like, what's the chance you got one of them? He's like, oh, man, if you'd asked me that 30 minutes ago, I'd have made your day. And so they had one come in, the new one that's been, it's the issues relieved and all that. And then I was in the neighborhood of the other store that's probably 20 miles away. And I went in there and the guy's like, nah, man, we ain't never seen one. Like, well, okay, whatever. But that's my new, that's really the gun that I want next. Just really because I love AKs and I love PCC. I love pistol caliber carbines, but not that I'm going to shoot that in USPSA, but I think it would be a great combination. It's just an awesome combination.
Yeah, I'm anxious to get my hands on a Rossi 92 and 357 Magnum. I have 357 handguns, so
there you go.
That would be a wonderful thing.
So Jamie, this is the one I got. This is a double ejector. This is from Toolcraft.
Yeah.
So that's what I got there.
I've
And
used Toolcraft.
handle. You know me. I had to go kind of with the Scottish theme on there. So we got the
Yeah.
handle.
I mean, Toolcraft makes a lot of those under the other labels and stuff too. They're a good company.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've used them before, and they are pretty slick. I like them very much.
Yeah, I found it for a good deal, so I couldn't pass it up. I never made a video on it because, you know, I didn't have the ticket for it, so I didn't want to offend the ticket bitches, you know.
Can't do that.
Oh.
But I think this thing normally goes, I think it was around 3, and I got it for under 200 shipped.
Yeah, that AR-10 stuff is a lot more expensive than AR-15.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a whole different world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Toolcraft bolt carrier group for AR-15, you can find them on sale for $80-90 sometimes.
Yeah, I too have been looking more and more into building a 6.5, and I've got a lot of things on the plate. I'm looking for another place to move, and sitting on money to make that happen. But finding some of the stuff that I want to get is getting a little tough. I actually hadn't heard of Toolcraft all that much myself.
Well,
So I'm not in the know very much at all on AR-10s. I'm pretty proficient with the AR-15s nowadays, but AR-10s to me, it's like a different world. Even though it's a similar design, they're not the same weapon. They're just not.
and the standardization is not there that the AR-15 with the AR-15.
No, you got the Armalite stuff, and then you got the, I guess I could say the other stuff, but there's, there's 2 different schools of thought on the AR-10, or maybe even 3. Maybe I don't even know all 3 of them. But yeah, I mean, you have proprietary stuff like LWRC, of course, but when it comes to building them, you have to know which direction you're going with AR-10. AR-15, just buy shit and throw it together. It's a different ball game.
One thing to watch for, and I discovered this because I did a lot of research before I even started buying parts, was the DPMS high and the low. So especially when you're looking at rails and stuff, you need to know which way you want to go with your rail before you even look at anything else, because that's going to be a big difference. For me, I'm going with the high. That's what I went with, because I went with the Aero Precision upper and lower, and they have a DPMS high, so that's kind of the route I went. I did grab it from the safe real quick so you can kind of see where I'm at with it, but that's where she sits right now.
Oh, I like that pistol grip.
So,
you got the Strike Industries butt stock. I've been looking at that.
yeah, it's nice, man. I like it. It works well. I like it. So far, you obviously haven't shot it yet, but it comes up well on the shoulder. It sits well. So I like it.
Nice.
I got a lower Precision that I'm building. Well, I had everything built on the lower now. I'll eventually get a 308 upper and just stick with a 308.
Kenny started a good series. If you guys don't know, Art's sub to his channel, y'all need to go check it out. He's taken a Mossberg bolt gun and started doing all the accurizing stuff to it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of that. Good work, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. Appreciate that.
He glassed it, pillar bedded and glassed it in the first installment. So that'd be pretty interesting.
I think majority of here are average Joes. You know, just basic budget rifles is usually what we're looking at. I'm taking a $180 rifle and pretty much making a custom rifle for under $800, including the optics. It's going to have a Krieger barrel, and we'll see what it does.
Nice.
Well, I don't know if Kenny would be the best person to ask on the panel for this or not. For anything under 1,000 yards, you're going 6, 8, 308 or 6.5. Which would be your preference and why?
Kind of hard for me to say because I'm struggling right now with the 308 for some reason. But it's been a proven round. I just found it easier to find notes with 6.5 hand loading. The 6.5 definitely, you could get your Starlock app and dial up your yardage, and it's just dead on every single time out to 1,000 yards for some reason. For me, in my experience, as far as the 308 and the AR-10, I'm not too sure yet.
I'll give you my opinion if you want it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for a 6.5 Creedmoor, which I don't own, so take this with a grain of salt. If you want to go 1,000 yards, build a bolt gun. If you're going to build a gas gun, I kind of feel like the 308 is a good choice because you have because it's cheaper build, right? It's easier build. There's a lot of proven things out there, combinations. But just come to terms with it's a 400 to 500 yard gun. Now there'll be people out there that'll argue with me. Oh no, I can shoot 308 at Nat's ass 1,000 yards, and just show me, and well, I'll agree with you. But until you can, those are just my thoughts. Shoot 400 or 500 yards 308. I mean, but if you're looking to shoot long range, one, a bolt gun's where it's at. And then the round is 6.5, not 308 for long range.
Yeah, I would agree that for some reason the 6.5 is just coherently accurate within that yardage. I mean, what kind of target are you looking at shooting? 24-inch backer?
Nothing in particular, actually. It was I'm just looking about that range. I want to be able to get out to about 1,000. I don't really think that I'd ever really need anything more than that.
Yeah. There's that perceived accuracy that everybody thinks that you must have, quarter MOA accuracy. You don't need a quarter MOA to hit 1,000. And quite frankly, you can get away with just over an MOA accuracy. You hit a typical 24-inch backer plate, and that's usually what most people shoot at.
Well, and I'm looking at 1,000 yards. What tactically are you trying to do? I mean, now we're starting to get into some people's personal lives, but I mean, seriously, I mean, at 1,000 yards, it's probably target shooting or some sort of competition or something. Because if you're trying to get a tactical advantage at 1,000 yards, you need to just mind your own fucking business. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just me talking, so take it for what it's worth. And that's why I believe so much in 6.8, because my comfort zone for being safe is 300 yards or less, and there's not a round out there that's better at 300 yards or less than the 6.8 SPC, and it's on a AR-15 platform. So that's why I got 3 of them. I got them in all different barrel lengths. And they're all 3 really good at either hunting or, taking tight shots within 300 yards or what have you. And it's an easy round to reload. It uses a 270 bullet. It's a great round.
Yeah, I was going to say if you're in the Wildcats, there's Mad Dog Weapon Systems makes a 7mm Valkyrie, which is basically a 6.8 but way better. I was going to say the 6.8 is really cool. But I've been looking at 7mm Valkyrie, and you can shoot all the 7mm bullets out of an AR-15.
Yeah, as long as you can get the dies for it, that's all good. But the problem with it was like 277 Wolverine or some shit like that. I can't remember you couldn't get dies for it, And so when you have a proprietary Wildcat like that, I'm not interested, because if I can't load it, I don't want it.
Yep. Yeah, they started making dies for it now.
Yeah, and they will eventually, but at first, I'm not a buyer because if it's not readily available, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, trying to find dies for some stuff can be pretty hard. Like those 22 TCM dies, those are not always easy to find too. I actually found those on a completely new website that I hadn't seen before, just in random searches that I was doing, that I picked up for Insight. Those are tough to find, and those are made by Elite, but they're still tough to find.
Well, that 350 Legend, Kenny and I were talking yesterday. That's not easy to find. You can get them from Reading, but you're gonna pay Reading prices. And
Yeah. Yeah, the Lee Precision is coming out with the dies, I believe, on the 16th. I have those ordered already. They're a hell of a lot cheaper too.
yeah, I think that's going to be. I think for people in those states, like we were saying yesterday, that have to have a straight walled hunting cartridge, I think that's going to be pretty cool that you can shoot that out of a AR-15.
Yeah. I'm mostly stoked because it's right up, our alley as far as casters. Out of an AR-15, you're shooting a 356 bullet, or you could potentially shoot a cast lead 356 bullet like a 357 Magnum or even faster out of a semi-automatic, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it should go a lot faster than the 357 Magnum, and then you got the 357 Max. I don't know the particulars on that one. I've seen Uncle Jim load for it, but I'm not familiar.
Yeah. I think that the main benefit on that cartridge is the fact you're not dealing with a bottleneck cartridge. Like a 300 Blackout LB is probably a competitor. If you're a hand loader, you got to worry about trimming brass, neck annealing, all that. Straight one cartridge, you just go to town with reloading the cartridge itself. Not having issues with resizing the neck and trimming and all that.
Now I've been cutting 223 and 5.56 and making 300 Blackout. I haven't kneeled a single one, and I haven't even cracked a case yet.
I make all my own, and I have never cracked one as well.
I think it's because it's a lot lower pressure cartridge, right?
Yeah, you can shoot them over and over again and everything. That used to be my favorite round. I think my favorite round now is 6.8.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
the special purpose, or
yeah, that's 6.8 SBC. Yeah. I mean, 50 Beowulf doesn't suck either, though. I got an AR upper in that shit. That's pretty awesome.
That's a gnarly round.
I have yet to shoot a 50 Beowulf and would just absolutely think that that's the cat's meow. I've seen I've seen what it does to a shoulder of a deer. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, deer salad.
now I'm wanting to, do the AR thing for deer hunting here, and now with these availabilities. But the one thing it keeps tricking in the back of my mind is how are these ARs going to handle if you're out hunting and you get a light rain and it turns to ice? Are these ARs going to have a tendency to get jammed up?
No. AR-15's battle proven in any weather conditions. Hey, either that or just take an AK-47 hunting.
I was gonna say, just talk to Midas. We'll get you fixed up with an AK.
I mean, let's face it. In conditions where you're hunting, you can protect the gun just enough to. I mean, it's really a non-issue, I mean, I know a lot of guys that hunt with 5.5. I mean, 223 just the AR-15 223 with the right round. It's all about the round you're using, not the gun. You know, I mean, to some degree, it's the gun, but I mean, if you can put rounds on target, just pick the right bullet, and you're done.
Yeah, I've seen so many people over the years hunting with AR-15s and never heard of anyone having an issue freezing up or anything like that.
I mean, I've had a bolt gun get ice in it and the bolt froze. You know,
Well,
at that.
You need to go down to the Waffle House and have breakfast instead of hunting.
Just for that, I'm going to have to include that piece of video.
You know what you need to do is you should have put some red Loctite. That's what you should have done.
Yeah, on that bolt face. Yeah, that'll do it.
Jerk.
You're welcome.
Okay. Everybody out there, yes, my channel name is Daniel. God is my judge. And I have to just put this out there. I have sinned. I have committed the most heinous of all gun crimes. I put red Loctite on my thread protector of my PO1. There, it's out there. Forgive me. I'll just send your checks and money too. So I can buy them myself.
You know, Daniel, just so you know, there's these things called light bulbs, and if you put energy to them, they make you see colors better.
And glasses. I mean, if you wear the right glasses, it can correct your vision to where you can see what you're reading.
Okay, first, the one wrong statement. You assumed that I can read. Alan, I am colorblind.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
The other part to that too is make sure you have enough coffee before you try to do any kind of job.
Oh, wait, I have a better idea. Take the thread protector off and put it in your fucking range bag.
I never thought about that.
I have to admit, when I very first got my Urban Gray, I did put a quarter of drop of blue Loctite underneath mine. And was it a bitch to get off of there? Yeah, it was a little bit of a bitch to get off of there. I didn't have to hit it with a torch or anything. I did end up having to wrap a rag around it and put some vice grips on it and wrench on it. Put a little oomph to it, but it did come off after dumping a couple of 100 rounds down through the barrel. So that helped out. You know, will I do it again? Absolutely freaking not.
All right. The peanut gallery.
I've made that mistake. I just didn't make that mistake with red.
I would like to hear from Eagle Eye, as I seen in the side chat. He has some constructive fixes.
Loctite, you're able to freeze it. I use it on my gas blocks on my AR, so I'm kind of one of the oddballs. But a soldering iron, set on a soldering iron on the screw itself, even an Allen screw, for about 10-15 seconds, and it busts it loose.
Okay, what if this screw is the size of a thread protector?
Well, then you're looking at a map gas torch. You got to heat it up about, I think it's like 100 or something like that, something pretty high in order for it to kind of break loose. No.
Is it going to mess with
Brody is saying in the side chat 350 degrees, and it should bust loose. But yeah, you're gonna have to heat that dog up in order to get it off of there.
What's up, Rick?
What's happening? How the heck is everybody? Sorry, I'm jumping in late. So Daniel's got a thread protector that won't come off.
He happened to use the wrong color Loctite.
Oh, Captain Fucktard. Awesome.
Now, I can appreciate that sarcastic comment.
You know what? That's what you get for cheating.
I didn't cheat. I had a camera malfunction.
Yeah, and a clock timer malfunction, by the way.
There we go. Bearded CB. I have a small butane torch. Try that out.
Yeah.
Hey, you could always just cut the end of it off and then just recrown the barrel.
There you
Yeah,
go.
don't worry about it.
Put it in there. Yeah, accurize that.
You
What
know,
hacksaw blade? What hacksaw blade works best to do that?
just get some channel locks and fucking rip that bitch off of there. Buy a new thread protector and call it done.
Daniel, it's time to man up. That's
Man,
all.
let's do this right
video.
now on live.
Gotta be
Live.
on
Go to
video.
channel locks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it didn't happen on video, it didn't happen.
You got a
And you
vice?
That's a
have a
show me
camera
video.
malfunction.
Do you have a vice?
Yes, I smoke and I drink too much coffee.
All right. So take that vice, put the whole pistol down into the jaws of that vice,
and tighten the shit out of it.
and dance on that lever like it's tight as hell. Then, assuming the gun's not damaged, then take you a monkey wrench with about a 3-foot cheater bar and just go to town on it. You'll be fine.
And I bet you did it really well where you used like half a bottle of that shit too, huh? Just so you made sure it wouldn't go anywhere.
Not half a bottle, but it would have probably covered most of the top of a dime.
Just get some channel locks and rip it off. It'll come right off.
I am so scared of cracking my aluminum lower for the frame on it.
And you can't take, that's right, you can't take the barrel off without that thing.
Right.
You know what?
This
I
is
would
on a-
sell it at the gun shop and sell it to crazy Scotsman.
Yeah,
And then,
trade it in.
Trade it-
Trade it in on a Glock.
Actually, use a Bic lighter, 2 Bic lighters, and then just call it good. Or shoot the piss out of it so it's all hot.
Yeah. So
Let me
bump
get
fire.
something. Hold on a minute.
Put some Winchester ammunition through it. That'll help it.
There we go.
Did you try like something, pliers of some sort? Just to
Yes.
see?
It's on there. I'm gonna take it down. I got a local old school gunsmith.
Don't do
And-
that. Then you'll have one more guy that knows some dumb shit on you. Don't
Well,
do
you
that.
know what?
No, here's what you do. Seriously, in all seriousness, take it and just cut the thread protector lengthwise. And when you turn it, it'll more or less crumble. But then all you'll be doing is buying a thread protector.
That's
You know,
smart.
yeah. No, I've done shit like this before, but don't screw your gun up. So maybe put something to protect the gun, but try to take a Dremel or something and just weaken the thread protector like in 3 areas, and then turn it really hard with some channel locks with a good grip, and it'll kind of crumble. It'll come apart, and you'll be good.
That, or if you want CB out there, he said he'll trade you for an SD40.
Never heard of an SD40. besides-
SDI 40.
And besides, Jason knows how well that PO1 shoots.
Well, and Jamie's actually got a very good tool here.
You can get these at Harbor Freight for like $15. They
There
call
you
it
go,
a
Jim.
micro torch. Can you see it?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get you one of them, put it in a vise, and just warm it up a little bit. Chico's also Chico's in the side chat. He suggested a hot plate, and they're saying that 350 degrees will break it loose. So
Yeah, that's totally safe for a barrel. No problem at all.
Chico's answer to everything is a hot plate. I'm noticing a trend.
Dirty South, baby. Dirty
too
South.
much, man.
He needs to write a book.
That's how he rolls.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to write a book. 1,001 uses of a hot plate.
Shit, Crazy Scotsman's got a griddle now, or a frying pan deal. Cast iron. Just throw it in there for 35 minutes. Call it good. Bake it 350, right?
Little bit of bacon grease, a little bit of
Gotta get some flavor in there.
I wonder if I dip it in some hot lead, if that'll heat it up enough.
no lead only gets so hot. You're You're gonna need blue flame for that shit, unfortunately.
Or blue Loctite. Oh wait, too late.
I've actually had lead boiling, Pops.
Oh well, okay, yeah. And let me guess, that's where the temperature rise stops when it's boiling, right?
Golly, I hope so. I was making, got this new turkey fryer, you know, and was smelting down wheel weights and pouring them into make ingots out of them, fluxing them all up. Yeah, that stuff got bubbling on me. I had to turn the heat down.
So were you fluxing them all up or fucking them all up? Which was it?
Flux, FLU.
Okay.
Sawdust is your friend, man.
My bad. Okay, I get it. All right. Yep.
Jamie, do you soak your sawdust in water before you throw it into the lead?
Absolutely not. That'll be a bad day, brother.
I learned as a kid, don't spit in the lead.
You don't do that but once, do you?
Nope.
Well, and if you're ever sitting in the back of a bed of a pickup truck, you don't spit either, because it just makes a loop and comes right back.
No, you have to shoot it left or right. You never go straight back.
You never go straight on. You got to spit a little left so it hits your brother.
Yeah.
I used to sit up against the cab in the back of the truck. My brother would sit by the tailgate leaning up there. I'd just spit straight up and it'd come down every time and get him.
Well
And-
done.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that Jim Croce song, you know, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull on Superman's cape. Daniel knows all the songs I know. What's
Hey,
up with
Yeah.
that?
And you don't mess with Big Jim, right?
Don't mess around with Jim.
Big Bad Jim.
Yep.
Oh, Pops is from that generation too. He's
I
the
kn-
same age.
I know all them songs. That's when songs were songs, you know.
It was real music back then, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't stand the bullshit on radio now. I mean, it's horrible. Thank God for the internet. I can find real music.
Freedom Rock. We had Freedom Rock. We had Fraggle Rock.
I have Sirius XM in my car, in one of my cars, not all of them, but I listen to Willie's Roadhouse. That's my station. You know, it's all the old stuff. It's good music. It calms me down before a match. Like I'll have 2.5 hours of driving to get to a match. That's what I listen to. That's my game music.
You guys were talking about my bad eyes. The Scotsman hooked me up. I am now a firm believer in those 2 power safety glasses.
Yes, sir. I got several pair laying around. No, not 2 power, 1.5s, but no, is it 1.5, 1.75s?
Probably both.
Yeah, those things rock, man.
Yeah, he gave me a pair of them. I got to find some more of them.
I like to have a reason to have an excuse, so I just say, "Oh yeah, one of these days I'll get me a pair," and then.
I just want to know, Rick, why didn't you put Ray's time on the drill this morning?
Well,
Did you have a camera malfunction?
yeah, my timer broke. No, I don't really know. I was trying to keep the video down because it's already 10 damn minutes. Ain't nobody got time for that.
What are you trying to say? Just because my reload the primers video was 3 seconds under 15 minutes?
Yeah, but that was like 9 videos all in one. He had goats and shooting and reloading, and it was like one of those small trilogy books kind of movie things, you know?
Hey, Pops, I'm not sure if you're trying to talk, man, but I think you might have hit the mute button.
Can you hear me?
It's up.
How about now?
Clinton
There you
House, baby.
Unplug this shit, but I guess they were all wasted.
Now, does Chico have the best time on that challenge now?
Well, I almost have to put like 12 categories out there because you got you got the really big cheaters, the semi cheaters, and then the ones that did it right. No, I thought when I watched Chico's, because his was one of the first ones I watched where he kind of really tried to, really game the system, which is good because there was no rule on that. And then all of a sudden, tape started showing up on people's things and all sorts of shit. I was like, wow, it's getting out of hand. No, I don't know who has the fastest time. I got to go back. You guys did an awesome job by getting a lot of videos out. I was actually very impressed. So the official times, I don't really know.
I know Chico pissed Uncle Jim off.
I'm pretty sure X-Ring's got the best time for production class.
Production class, yes. There was a couple open classers.
Yeah, modified.
Doing mine tomorrow. We'll see how that goes.
But, yeah, waiting on crazy stuff.
Hey guys, real quick, this is for Curtis. He said he wants some ice cream.
Oh, I want some of that shit.
Oh,
I want some Rocky Road and some mint chip. My address is 123 Main Street.
Yeah, I don't want none of that shit. It'll just slow me down.
Slow me down.
Well, we do have a question in the side chat specifically for you, Rick. Who won the challenge, by the way? Have we come up with a winner on that yet?
No, we're still waiting for results. I got the Crazy Scotsman, and there's a couple other guys that said they're going to send one in. So I'll wait for them. There's no hurry. It's only been out a day.
Hey, I have a question. Can you resubmit a better time, or you just get one shot at it?
It's a one-timer.
You want to make it amazing if you make it amazing.
You know what? You can do whatever the hell you want, Rob. I was thinking about stacking all the primers up, right?
No, I tried it.
Just fucking going.
Chico tried that too. He said he got like 3 or 4, and then they started falling down.
Yeah, they don't stack well. I tried it. Yeah.
How about with some tape? How about some Scotch tape or something? Fucking zoom, 100.
Wait a minute. Hey, Rick, try it again, but use this red Loctite.
Yes. I can crazy glue them all together and then fucking do it.
Dude, let me tell you how I load primers. I dump them in the top of my RF1 1500.
Yeah.
I fucking push a button and I walk the fuck away. That's what I do. So
hey,
I don't.
What would you say? How long would it take? Actually, this.
It doesn't. But no, the point is, it doesn't matter because you're off doing something else. Well.
No, but if you were to guess, what would you say? How long does something like that take? Because you have to put them in there the right way already, right? No, you don't.
I think there's your plug-in for your mic, Pops, is popping in and out.
All right, I just ditched the whole thing. Does that work better?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the 1500, I think it's called the Dillon Auto Primer Filler tube thing. You just dump them in the top and push the button and walk away. I mean, it don't get much better than that, you know. I don't know how long it takes. I don't care. It's working while I'm not.
It's an employee. You don't have to pay.
Primer and one for small primer. I used the one at his house one time, and it seemed like it took a while, but like you said, you just say, I'll see you in a little bit.
Well, you take the tube and you put them in your machine, and then when you're done, you put it in there and you push the button, and then you go back to your machine and you're reloading, and then when you need primers, it's always filled, right? I mean, it's kind of.
But to answer the question out there, I do believe it is X-Ring is the regular.
No, Chico beat him by a second.
Chico, I thought's the one that said X-Ring won on that.
No,
Yeah,
Chico has him by a second.
No, but that's not in production class. That's in modified.
That's modified.
Yeah, that's slightly modified.
Wait, how Chico didn't modify nothing. He just laid the stuff on the bench.
No, he put it on a neoprene mat and he spaced them out. It took him like 10 minutes to set it up. I mean, that they're in itself to let you know it's not good, but
Did you guys see Papa's place yet?
I saw the video. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, he attempted it, and he gave it his all, and I'm glad he did. I'm glad he spent the time to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it two different ways. I'm gonna try it with the Lyman one, and I'm gonna try it with the Dillon one as well, and see if I can do if one gives me a better time or not.
Oh,
So
he
you're gonna
already
give us
confessed.
two, right? We get to see both of them.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, wait a minute. We're allowed to do it twice now?
Sure. Why not? You need to, because you didn't even do it once, really.
Hey, I missed one target, okay? 3-second penalty, whatever. No, 5-second penalty. I'm sorry.
No, you had a lot of procedural errors in that one. We're gonna go. You got a lot of points added on.
Yeah, there was more procedurals than you thought.
That's all the tube I got, man. Sorry.
I know. I was Mario Mosen. I had called him out too, just for fun, and then I realized that not everybody has a tube. I was like, damn it. So I apologize.
They don't let high capacity tubes in California. So.
That's true. You can only allow 10 primers
Yeah.
at a time.
I would say 10 primers at a time.
Now that there was a week window when you could have went out and bought the long primer tubes, but that's shut down now. That's all shut down.
What flavor did you get, Kenny?
I got Snickers, and I'm telling Curtis if this becomes a habit, I'm gonna gain some weight.
That shit looks good.
It does, don't it?
Man, that would make me so much faster shooting 3-gun. I can tell you right now.
No, you get to go to DQ. Dairy Queen.
There you go.
Man, what if they had a tea flavored ice cream? Rick, you'd be whooping everybody, man.
Which one? Oh shit, yeah. I'd have that in a bowl and a scoop in one hand, shooting between things.
Well, in California, they do. Most ice cream shops have green tea ice cream. Just so you know.
That's gay.
It is, but they do
What
have.
are you guys trying to say?
I don't know.
I'm talking pure sweet tea. I could make some pure leaf popsicles.
Have to judge me for my plant eyes is what it is.
So you got any other challenges planned, Rick?
No, you know what? Honestly, I was sitting here and I was reloading, and I'm like, I need to get a video out and say hi to everybody, and why not call out my favorites and see what happens. And I was really surprised. There's a lot of people that have already entered, and I didn't know I'd get such a good. I mean, for something so silly or dumb or whatever you want to call it,
challenge, man.
I mean, a lot of people. So I appreciate it. Thanks for all
It's absolutely a very cool random challenge. I mean, not very many people would have thought of it, you know, especially of your stature.
Just that, man. I got to congratulate you because you got TR to do one. And then he started, right when we were coming on, he put out another video. Why I'm not reloading lately. So you got him feeling guilty and stuff.
That's right. Get the cobwebs out and freaking start rocking and rolling. No, I finally just got 2 new boxes in of some bull. I was running really low. Actually, I need to meet up with Robin, buy the rest of his red stuff, and as long as it's not 115, it's 124s, right?
145s.
Oh, 145s.
Yeah, and I've decided I'm not using them. I'm going to stick with 40 cal, so you can have them.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I'll buy them off you. So I've been doing a lot of reloading. Actually, right here here's 700 rounds of for the pistol for the Infinity 9mm. So,
well, you know what? Why don't you share your load data with us? What are you running on that bitch?
For the Infinity, I am running. This might get these guys banned or whatever, but
don't worry about it. Just speak in code, like call it bunny.
You can say whatever you want, dude. I don't give a shit.
Everybody knows what tight group TG is, right? at 3.7 with a 124 Acme bullet.
Okay.
And it cycles well with my PSA 9mm carbine, and it cycles well with my.
Uh-oh.
And I
Doesn't cycle well with his internet.
Most of my 9mm pistol, I say most of them is because I have the red Loctite.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Daniel.
I can't hear
This
you.
is
You're not moving.
Red Loctite. Just so
The YouTube algorithm just got you.
this is not Loctite. This is not coated with red Loctite.
That's that high-tech coating stuff, isn't it?
Yes. The reason why I shoot this stuff, and I will tell you that a full metal jacket or a copper-plated bullet is more accurate, especially if you use a hollow point, and Rob can test this.
No, it's not. The Acme bullet is more accurate than all of those other bullets you just mentioned. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
It's pretty accurate.
Oh, these are awesome accurate.
No, dude, I just did a whole weekend's worth of testing, and I haven't posted anything on it.
You weren't
But
getting
dude,
good at it then.
Yeah, stick with the Acme, man. I'm going back to that. It's unreal. But go ahead.
But these work well enough for me, and it's a great price, and I don't mind using them.
I want to give a shout out to Bald and Curious if he's watching. He told us on the chat the other night, man, you know you're selling yourself short. You're all these expensive bullets, this, that, the other thing, blah blah blah. You know, fuck the smoky stuff and everything. Try some Acme bullets. And I never thought to test a high-tech coated bullet for accuracy. And he says that the diameter is slightly larger, so it gives you a little more accuracy. And I'm like, nah, you're full of shit. It's what I would say to him no matter what, by the way. So it wasn't just that. But I actually tested the bullets, and they are more accurate than, say, a 20 or 30 cent hollow point Nosler competition bullet. I'm not joking.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm serious.
I can tell you that I shoot these well. When Ray shot the 300 yards with my Infinity, it was a 40 cal bullet, but he shot 300 rounds with my loads, my powder puff competition loads. And he was hitting 300 yard with a pistol at Mansteel. You probably saw that video where I had to mortgage off a house afterwards. But
I'm going back to the Acme bullets. I don't care about the smoke, and I'm about to piss off Everglades bullets, but they can piss up a rope because I offered them the opportunity to help me out, and they said you can go pound sand, and you and your fucking YouTube channel can go pound sand. So now I'm fixing to hand it right back at them, but it's not because I want to. It's because they suck. Those bullets suck ass.
I don't like the extreme. I mean, I have some extreme, but I don't notice any difference. Smoke-wise, another good argument would be this. I shoot my tight group compared to Vetivari or whatever the fuck it's called.
Vitivari. Yeah.
Vitivari is these tight group shoots more accurate than the Vitivari when it comes to my load and my pistol.
Okay.
Not sure why, because I've tried them both. I mean, I got like 9 pounds of that shit up there, and I use it good for 40. 40 works great. But for the 9, and I had Ray shoot just to confirm it, and he's all, you know what, you got a good load here, but the tight group's shooting better. So I'm like, screw it. And I got plenty of tight group. I got, big cases.
Yeah, tight group is burning faster than the 320 for sure.
So it's working. I mean, outside, the powder, the smoke, not a big deal unless you're in one like stage that you're there a long time where you're blasting it down. But for the most part, you're shooting and moving, and you're not in the same spot in the same cloud of smoke.
I get it. Like I said, I'm trying to produce a video here that's going to explain it all. I I got like 2 hours of freaking video that I have to go through to figure out how to present this to everybody in 8 minutes.
Well, do a part 1 and part 2 because we'd actually really be interested. I mean, don't cut it so short we don't learn anything. I mean, that's just me personally. If I don't like the video, I can turn it off.
Yeah, I would rather watch 2 small videos and get the full information rather than watch one and miss something.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people, especially people that reload, Rob.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna figure it out. Don't worry. But I'm definitely gonna put it out there. You know.
How many companies did you use as far as bullets?
I used Winchester personal defense ammo, which is a bonded, jacketed, amazing bullet. I used the Acme bullet. I used the Everglades bullet, and then I used the one other bullet. I can't remember what it was. I put four. Four were in the Everglades. Did I say Everglades? Anyway, it was 4 that I test, and it was 12. So you'll see really awesome. But our guys, the Acme bullet shines. You don't even have to watch the fucking video if you don't want. I'm telling you right now, the Acme bullet is more accurate than all those high-dollar bullets. It just is. And that's what you get for coming to the Scotsman's chat.
That's right. A little bit of info. I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't take anything else away from this chat, take away with that.
Yeah, I mean it's a great bullet. I like it. And for the price, I can shoot more, try to get better than buy the expensive shit.
Well, there's always a 10% discount code floating around. You just got to get with someone.
I got one.
Yeah. Well, I thought yours was
IY6C, guys. IY6C, all capital letters.
Okay, good. Use his. I thought it wasn't any good anymore, but there's always discount codes for them, so never pay full price for Acme bullets.
Yeah, the reloader dude, a bunch of other people on here all have 10% codes. You can always get 10% off somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they do charge you for shipping. Yeah. No, I've used your code before, but one time when I tried to use it, it didn't work.
You bought bulk. I mean, like over bulk.
No, well, I don't know, but I do know if you buy bulk, you can't use a coupon code. So there is that. Yeah.
Yeah, and bulk means like 10,000 rounds. So not because I bought 3,000 rounds of 9, 2,000 rounds of 40, and it worked perfect. It worked just fine.
Yeah, what's funny is they have it figured out. So if you buy 10,000 rounds of 2,500 a piece and you use the discount code, it's the same price as if you just buy in bulk. But the benefit is if you use his discount code, he gets credit towards bullets, right, Rick?
No, but they will send me like this thing.
Anyway, if you're doing it right, it's better to use a discount code because normally the person's discount code will give them credit towards bullets or what have you. So
yeah, and sometimes they'll send me extra targets and stuff.
No, that's cool. I mean,
it's not much, but it's something.
No, I hear you. I'm fixing to start ordering their bullets again, so you might want to work on them for a little bit. But the thing is, if people use your discount code, it's supposed to generate some value for you somehow. I don't know. But,
yeah. Well, they have sent me bullets to test. Like they sent me a bunch of 100 boxes to try out, like the 47 grain. Like a bunch of different ones. Yeah. So that they did hook me up with that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty neat.
Hey, Eagle Eye. How was that ice cream?
Flipping delicious. Hit the spot. Talk about reloading. Reloading has it on sale right now. Their code is Acme, all caps, 419, 10% off, and they have free shipping. So you can get it for around $7 for a pack of 100.
They're
reloading.
Yep, and there's there's a 20% code floating around out there somewhere. I got to look it up, but yeah, I don't know if it still exists, but there's been several times where I've ordered Acme's at 20% code, and it was pretty cool.
There is one of those floating around, but I don't remember the number.
Yeah, Rich had that code. I'll have to ask Rich again.
I'm actually going to ask Vicky because there's a lady named Vicky in there. I'm gonna be like, hey, can I get that same 20% discount code?
Man, at 20%, it becomes hard to cast your own bullets at that price. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
it's
been
huge.
proven the cast lead bullets for some reason shoot better in pistol than anything. I don't know what the deal is, but it does.
9124. That's
Yeah.
the 20% off one.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. I don't know if it's still active.
I don't either.
I better go try it.
Wait a couple days and I'll work on a 20%er.
Yeah. Well, I'm fixing to back the truck up on their bullets because I'm pretty much sold after this weekend.
Yeah, the high tech is just kind of smoky, like you're saying. That's why the powder coating it kind of helps out for what we do.
I get it, and that's why I switched to Everlade's plated. But if I'm at a match and it's a hoser stage, and all I have to do is slam paper 2 rounds apiece, and I'm standing 1 point, I'm just going to take both kinds of bullets. So I'll shove the fucking magazines full of plated, and I'll just hose a stage. But if I got 30-yard poppers that I need to hit, I'll just grab a magazine with the Acmes, and I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm going to start shooting a little smarter because I'm going to tell you right now, they're way more accurate.
That's encouraging for us bullet casters.
That's awesome. That's great news.
Yeah.
When you said that, Rob, I go, you're fucking so full of shit right now.
No, absolutely not. Nope.
And Rick, you're not hurting yourself with tie group being more accurate than Vitabori either. That stuff's expensive.
Yes.
No, and I'll say not on the 40 end of it, because the 40 end of it is it works really well with 40, especially the race gun stuff, and it's very clean burning, and I mean it's the top of the line shit. But groups, it came down to on the 9mm, because I loaded up both, basically the same powder is basically what it comes out at, as far as measurement wise. But the tight group was tighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the chat the one, the only, Bald and Curious.
What's up, you all?
Hey,
How's it
man.
going, Bill?
He's just here to say, I told you so. So let him say that, and then he'll go.
No, I'm just here to tell you that you had no fucking idea what Acme is. You only watched it on Cartoon Network until I turned all you into that. All right? And for some fucking reason, it's just Chicago went and suck somebody's cock over there to get the discount code and all the free shit. Okay? Which I don't do. I'm not a shill.
Well, we still appreciate the information you share. So there's that.
That's good.
You know what? After the last time when I told you the 147 grain bullets have a less muzzle flip than 115, and you kept arguing with me until you tried it and said, "Yeah, you're right."
Wait. They don't make 147s. They only make 145s. To get your facts.
They make 147s.
No.
They make 145s and 147s.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'll pull it right here. Right there. You see that? Oh, where's that? 147.
They have a 145 round nose and
Listen,
147.
I don't need you helping him. Jesus Christ, man.
Hey, Pops, listen. You know I know my shit. You know.
You do.
I might not be as fast as you anymore because I'm rusty after the winter. It'll take me a freaking month to get back up to speed. But
no, you do know your shit, man. It took me a while to realize you weren't just talking shit and that you actually knew your shit, because a lot of times when you know your shit, you act like you're just talking shit. So it's hard to figure out.
Well, that, and we're figuring out what the fuck you're saying half the time.
well, you did understood me. You did understood me that time.
Die. I was sign languaging everybody so they knew what you were saying the whole time. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Hey, listen, somebody turn on the subtitles for Mario Mosin.
Here's the thing. Never believe a guy that doesn't show you, right? This is what I'm talking about. Val will show you why he's telling you what he's telling. There's so many people on the internets or the interwebs or the YouTubes that talk so much shit and think they're so smart, and there's some company behind them fueling their fucking fury, right? A guy like Val, and I'd like to think myself, will show you why they tell you what they're telling you, right? So there's that. That's why I say, listen, don't tell me, show me, right?
Yep. We have a redneck science behind it.
That's right. That's right.
Hell yeah. Show me. That's like those videos I just got done doing. Some of those sucked ass. I mean, I'd fucking miss and miss and miss, but it's practice. Like, it's better than me trying to do that and then do it at a match. Like,
Actually, I have to hand it to you. The one that you did where you shot on each side of the stick, 12 yards, 15 yards, that bullshit thing, whatever it was, those 5 shots.
yeah.
I did it today. I came close to Einstein. I couldn't beat him, but I got a whole video coming on that. You should watch that.
Hey, I got a whole
Did
bit.
you
I
give me
got
credit for the video, or did you just say you came up with it and it's a
No. I give you credit. What I'm trying to do, we're gonna make it like a benchmark. We're gonna make the same video once a month, same drill, and we'll see how we do in October.
And this Friday, when I go to the farm, I'll do the same drill. But I also did a bunch of practice on steel. Y'all know I have in the past I've bet on steel, and so I'm working on that. And I've done a whole series on that, and I'll share with you guys. But it's always good to put the camera on and do some practice and show it, because if it really does suck and you're too embarrassed to post it on YouTube, which none of us really are, we're pretty much straight up. But at least put that in your file, and then a year later go back and do it again, and then just see if you've grown or the mistakes you made or doing different. Like Rick, I told him in his videos a couple little things. I hope maybe he could try those things, and it doesn't. You might get a little bit better, and we all try to help each other. But the big thing is create benchmarks and then work.
Yeah. Well, I noticed just shooting the mag reload change thing, I was super sloppy in the beginning. Like, I don't normally do that because we're trying not to drop our mags and shit. And I'm like, man, I look like ass. Like, I don't know if you went and watched the whole thing, but it was at the end. Yeah. And I'm like, the first 5 times, I was like, just like, what in the hell am I doing? I was like doing it for the first time. Like, and they got a little bit better, but I mean, if you do not practice it, you will totally lose it. And I could tell how much worse I was.
That so reinforces you to work on your mistakes to stop them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't practice reloads when I dry fire really, because it's sandy shit and it just fills out the max. I mean, stuff like that you can work on a dry fire.
Yeah,
the problem is that
do it over your bed like I do, and they just drop onto your bed or something.
Yeah, I'm just too freaking lazy to dry fire. That's all.
I don't know if you guys talked about it before I jumped on here, but I'd really like to congratulate Daniel, God, as my judge, and the Crazy Scotsman for going out and doing it. You guys did it, man. It's freaking awesome.
Well, it's fun. And like you're doing the reloads over your bed, it really works. But my wife got mad at me. She said, "Quit hitting me in the head with those mags."
I mean, dry fires. I mean, one of the first questions I got on that video when I put that video out was, the important thing is did you clear your issues and get back in the fight? Yes, because I practice that all the time. So, dry fire is key, absolute key.
Yes, it should be 50-50. If you shoot 1,000 rounds a month, you should do 1,000 dry fire strokes on your trigger a month as well. It has to be equal. Too much live fire is bad. I found that out the hard way. All I did was live fire.
I think it's not about how much, it's about how consistent. Because if you go and 1 week you dry fire every freaking day, and next 2 weeks you don't do nothing, then you're better off doing it 3 times a week and do it constantly every three times a week, whole month, whole year. This way you have it in your blood. Opposed to me, like I get into mood. All right, so like today, tomorrow, I'm gonna be dry firing like crazy, and then I won't touch the gun for 2 weeks.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's it exactly.
Our X-Ring and I were talking about Rob and being able to shoot all the time, and we kind of had a talk, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but Ray was saying shooting is good, but like too much of it, too much of it on cardboard. Like if your target's really big, and you're going, you're having the ability to practice, but your accuracy will never get better per se. Or
No, that's 100% true. Your dry fire will help your accuracy because quick sight alignment and trigger pull without disturbing the front sights is all shooting is. The rest of it is just, it's kind of is what it is. But being able to pull the trigger without moving the front sight is what accuracy is. So dry fire is very important.
Yeah, because shooting that cardboard,
especially teaching new shooters. Whenever I teach a new shooter, it's one of the first things I do is I teach them how to dry fire and show them that front sight and how the gun's going to move and how they want that gun to sit. So when they pull that trigger, there shouldn't be any movement.
Yep.
Like, I mean, those targets, those circles for the 0 down scores, that's the size of a paper plate.
It's like an
8-inch circle, yeah. But what you want to do is, no matter what you do, when you practice your build drills and whatnot, well, you're supposed to hit all A zone, but ideally you want to put your shots in a softball size hole. You want everything like that. This way, the key to everything is consistency. If you can consistently do this and put them in this big of a hole at 10 yards or whatever you do your build drill, then it doesn't matter if you're fast. It doesn't matter if you do it sub 2 seconds if you're all over the freaking paper.
Yeah, I mean, if you go out there and practice where you're getting the fist-size groups at whatever yardage that you're proficient at, when you come out to shoot the cardboard at the matches, as long as you stay away from that whole tunnel vision where everything shrinks in when that buzzer starts, because that's the one spot where I've had my mistake is when the tunnel vision kicked in. And I didn't realize that was a Democrat hostage.
I think I really like hanging out with X-Ring. He shoots better than I do. I'm sure everybody knows him, or most everybody. He shoots at a farther distance. He shoots at a farther distance than normal. And in doing that with him, when I get closer, it sure seems a lot easier. I mean, it seems
small, miss small.
Yeah, so that's huge. I mean, if I was going to practice, I would be farther away than what I normally, if you're thinking that now, Daniel, that you've been to that place and you kind of have an idea where the targets will be set up, like just be 10 more yards back from that the entire time.
Well, another thing is people get to hang up on the splits, on the build drill and the splits. And you don't win the match by splits. You win it on transitions. The splits are measured
Okay, y'all. He's talking to me here. Let me explain something to you. I did that video because of the power factor, 174.
I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, you are. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not.
So here's the thing. The thing about a return to 0 gun is different power factor makes the gun work differently, right? So 165 power factor is going to work differently in 175. I don't expect everybody to understand that, especially not this fucker here. But a good build drill can't win a match. We all know that. So go on. I'll let you continue now. Go on.
Well, you're forgetting there's more to it with the power factor. You also, I actually have to do it to my gun. You have to match the recoil spring too high, because I think mine, since Ray never ran a 165 power factor, he was running a power puff loads, and recoil spring on that is light, probably worn off already. I think I got to step it up to a stronger spring. Because I like to run around 170 myself. So,
I've never messed with it, and this is the whole point, right?
Well, it's different because your gun was built for a major power factor from the get-go.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's what they built it, so you expect to be right. I don't think this one went back to SVI. They checked it, but I don't think they addressed that because, like I said, he was shooting a 3-gun with it, and he was looking for the soft shooting load. That's all. So I gotta mess with a spring, and I gotta look for a backup gun.
They make a way to gauge those, Bald.
Well, you can just buy a set of the wall springs for 1911 because it's the same size, and just experiment. That's all. I noticed at a super slow mo on the camera. A couple of videos I put on Instagram. You can see that it launches that slide way violently back. It's like if all the other guns are a little more smoother. So I'm gonna mess with that a little
Yeah,
bit.
you got a light spring.
Well, because that's what you and Ray shoot. You shoot the freaking powder puff flows. That's what you do. You know,
we don't need power factor.
Yeah, you use the Magnum primers and no powder.
No, I use CCIs and 500s, and that's all I need.
Now, Pops, I got one more challenge for you. What I want you to do is I want you to load like a 200 rounds of same ammo, but load it with like a tight group or whatever. Shoot it through your gun. Let's see how dirty it is, and then shoot 200 rounds using your Vita Vori super and expensive crap, and see if it's really worth the money. If there's really that much of a difference.
No problem. I'll be glad to.
I just want to see because
let me give you my address so you can send me the powder.
Didn't you brag that you have like ton of tight group?
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'll be glad to. I'm fine.
Because I used the Vitavuri once. I used like a pound of it for the hell of it, and I mean this was in the 9mm. I just didn't see a difference, huge difference, and it just didn't justify the cost. I mean, if you get it on sale, like you had for like $26 or whatever, yeah, but normal cost on it is like $35 a pound.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
And you also use more of it, so you get if you figure it out, you know, it's a lot more expensive than anything else.
You're right. You're right.
Holy shit! Twice in one night, he said I'm right. Man,
All right,
I should go talk to my wife now.
We're gonna have to call it night before you get a third one because that's just gonna be fucked up and wrong. So
yeah,
that's gonna be a hat trick.
So with that, we'll start going through the room. We'll start with Rick. Is your 6 covered?
Are we done? Is the time up or what? You got to go to work or?
Yeah, man, I got to start getting ready to go to work.
All right. Well, first off, I'd like to congratulate you on shooting your first IDPA, right? Or at least Daniel's. And Daniel, same for you, my friend. And the rest of you, I appreciate you guys that did the VRs. And you're all awesome. Other than that, that's it. Thanks again for inviting me on here.
Awesome. Good to have you, man. The man, the myth, the legend, living legend. Let me correct it. Living legend, Pops Quest.
Yeah, I won't be long. I appreciate you having me on, and anytime I can help you guys with some competition sort of mindset things or philosophy. Every type of competition shooting is a little different. There are certain constants that never change. So hopefully I can help, and hopefully through some inspiration get you guys to stay out there, because it is the best form of training, in my opinion. But thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. And trust me, I plan on doing a lot more. There's practice scores up on my computer at all times now, and I keep checking for local competitions. So there'll be more. Jamie.
Scotsman, thanks for having me on. You guys in the panel, thanks. I always enjoy spending time with y'all, and the side chat as well. We got 47 folks watching, so thanks everybody. Y'all can check us out on Friday nights on my channel now for the next little while. Will be our Georgia Shooters Connection. We'll be on JH586 Friday nights at 8 o'clock. And if you getting into reloading, you got some questions, check us out on thereloadersnetwork.com. And you can message any of us there. Scotsman's on there. You can do Slack. Thanks,
Awesome.
man.
Good to have you again, brother. Kenny.
Yeah, I just saw Daniel's video, and I just, like I said, man, congratulations, guys. That's something I want to do. I think that this should come up more as a topic. I want to learn, basically, and I agree with Pops Quest. Just something to get you more rounded as a shooter and learn everything, you know, and just be better that way. And thanks for having me on here. As always, you guys are awesome. Everybody here in the panel, great people. Alan, you're awesome. And folks here in the chat, thanks.
Cool. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Daniel.
Okay, first I want to answer Brody 556's question out there. He wants to know how to keep a 2-piece guide rod from ever unscrewing. Brody, red Loctite. Red Loctite, all right? That it'll never come undone. Thanks for having me on, Scotsman. Alan, enjoyed it. Val, Eagle Eye, Jamie, Pops, Rick. Nice chatting with you guys and everybody in the side chat. Thanks.
Awesome. Appreciate it, brother. The Russian.
Hey, listen, Irishman. Okay? You should know that by now. All I'm going to say is May 31st is Ohio State IDPA champion. USPSA championship. So maybe you should apply.
I had planned on it.
There you go. And Pops, I sent you a message. There's a Delaware State in July. We should
Okay,
meet up right there.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there.
And yeah, just keep shooting, guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Alan.
Well, it's been an absolutely phenomenal chat. Once again, a lot of great information. Had a plethora of knowledge on the panel this evening. The side chat was just going ape shit, and it's its own crazy entity over there. Absolutely love it. Thanks for everybody that showed up to watch. Thank you, everybody in the panel. I'm certainly glad to be a part of this. And as always, keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's been an awesome chat. Thank you to everyone that showed up and everyone up in the side chat. We will see you all next week. With that being said, we're out of here.
Woo!